Alright, so it's 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Your parents put you to bed at 6 p.m. so you're not tired. You walk to the guest room with one intention: to watch a 2-hour marathon of the weirdest show you'll ever remember. So, like most children, I watched television all the time. I especially watched TV late in the afternoon or early in the morning because the weirdest and coolest shows played during those hours. Like, seriously, I would wake up at 2 a.m. just to watch Cowboy Bebop, which at the time I thought was absolutely fascinating, yet I didn't understand the plot. I don't know, it was just a good show. It didn't help that my parents were actually heavy sleepers, so I could stay up from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. without any interruptions, watching an oddly scientific, obscure show on the ill-fated channel Discovery Kids. So, do you guys remember the show Strange Days at Holesy High? Discovery Kids, a channel created and run by the Discovery Network, ran shows that were kid-focused and educational, like the Science Channel but with cartoons and more Canadian-casted live-action TV shows. The channel ran from the early 2000s to 2014 when they changed the channel completely and started to run shows that were based off of Hasbro toys? I don't know, 2014 was just a really weird year. I digress. The point is that I and many others watched Discovery Kids during their heyday. Their content was entertaining and the educational content was interesting and easy to follow. Like, for example, another show that I would watch every day after school was Time Warp Trio. The show was about 3 boys traveling back in time and solving mysteries or getting into hijinks with ancient people. That show actually taught me about the past and different cultures. It's really a tragedy that show only lasted 1 year. And don't get me started about the other shows on this channel that were even more entertaining, like Truth or Scare, Tootenstein, and The Magic School Bus.
Please let this be a normal field trip with a friend? No way!
So what is Strange Days at Holesy High exactly? Well, Strange Days at Holesy High is a Canadian science fiction television program which first aired in North America in October 2002. The show also had a different name that alluded to the overall plot of the show: Black Hole High. So here's the basic gist of the show. The story revolves around 5 friends and their favorite teacher. They all join a science club at Holesy High, a boarding school located in Southern Ontario, and strange things begin to occur at that school, and the science club decides to discover what's going on. Like you do. The series combines elements of mystery, drama, romance, and comedy, and the show is structured around various scientific principles, like physics, math, and chemistry. I know, right? Riveting. But I'd bet if you guys were to watch the show the same way I did, just episode to episode, you would forget that you're learning something. Each episode is structured around one specific scientific topic, and they kind of weave it within the story. I mean, yeah, it's Canadian acting in the early 2000s, so it's not the best.
What do you know about tesseracts?
But you would still forget that you're learning something. The show had a total of 42 episodes that spread across 4 seasons, and the show lasted 3 years, from October 5th, 2002 to January 28th, 2006. Each season had 13 episodes, and each episode was 25 minutes long, so it didn't really take me that long to complete the show. To be specific, it actually took me 2 days to finish it. Now here's the point where I'm going to talk about each season in their entirety. If you want to watch the show on your own, and you're only interested in my opinion of the show and how I rediscovered it after not watching it in over a decade, skip to this time in the video. Alright, so let's just jump into the show. So each season pretty much has 13 episodes of exposition. Every character has their very own episode. Alright, so let me introduce all the characters first so you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Josie, Corinne, Lucas, Marshall, Vaughn, and Professor Z are all a part of the Holesy High Science Club, and the story follows them exclusively. Alright, so let's start with Josie. She's a new transfer into Holesy, and she has a mysterious connection to the school that all the other students in her friend group lack. Alright, and then you got Corinne, who's Josie's best friend and dorm mate. She has a 170 IQ, and literally all she cares about is her educational reputation. But she's pretty dope when she's needed, like deadass. She mathematically solved how to unfold a folding tesseract, an act that requires a computer and a beefy processor, and she did it all in her head.
Tesseract. The school's folding in on itself in time, as well as 3-dimensional space. At least we're outside.
But the device is inside. How do we get back in to get it?
Calculating the 4-dimensional mathematics required to answer that question requires some serious computing power, and the computer's inside. Who are you calling?
Corinne. If there's a problem that has to do with hyperdimensional math, Corinne's the person to call.
Have either of you been mapping the effect?
Well, actually...
You see, things were happening really fast.
So you have no idea which rooms have been connecting to which other rooms?
Well, first, my office connected to the teacher's lounge, which afterward then reconnected to the hallway.
And then my room connected to the teacher's lounge.
So the effect is centered around the teacher's lounge?
No. Next, Lucas's room connected to the kitchen.
But only for a moment, because after that, my room led right into the science room.
Then, when we tried to go back into my office, it led us outside.
Which is where I called you, but then we heard you screaming.
We ran back inside and came out of Durst's office.
Into the hallway.
Got it?
Completely.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that she had like 4 minutes to do it before the Tesseract completely folds and crushed her and 3 other people who were in the building. Then you have Lucas. He's only important in the last season. Other than that, he was just a problem for the team. He would get into trouble or outright just be an ass to his friends for no reason other than to feel better about himself. You can tell I don't like him so much. Anyway, Marshall is the coolest dude. He's down to earth and a complete whiz when it comes to chemistry. Also, he's the lead singer of Magnet 360, the most popular band in Blake Holesy High. And then you have Vaughn, the son of Victor Pearson, who's the CEO of Paradigm Industries. This guy has it hardest in the story. He's not as smart as everyone else in the science club, and his father is unloving and distant from him. He even tries to gain his favor through betraying his friends or becoming the best wrestler at Blake Holesy, and his father repays him by stealing from him and hurting his friends. And finally, Professor Z. He not only provides a deeper understanding on the scientific topics covered in each episode, but he's a major mentor to all of the kids in the science club. Also, he can play the guitar pretty well. Okay, so now since you guys know all the characters in the show, let's actually talk about the show. And I'll try to be as succinct as possible. I don't want this video to be an hour long, you feel me? Alright, so there's no better place to start than season 1, and it's pretty packed, much like the other seasons, so I'm going to condense every season into 3 dope episodes and major happenings. Alright, so here's the gist of this season. Josie enters the school as a transfer student and happens upon a major secret, that in the science office, there's an active wormhole in the floor. She goes to investigate and irresponsibly takes her new friend Corinne to investigate it with her, and this happens.
Yeah, right. Looks like a warp floor to me.
Take my hand, Corinne! Hold on! Help me! Hold on! I can't! Come on, you have to! This is bad.
Yeah, that's a hell of a way to start a show. So after this event, all of the science club starts to be affected by the wormhole. Each episode revolves around a character, so I chose 3 that were my favorite in this season. Invisible. So this one is pretty crazy. Marshall comes in contact with the wormhole and, well, becomes invisible. Pretty obvious, am I right? And like any teenager in the early 2000s, he finds this newfound ability pretty cool.
What's his deal? Let's let him vent in peace.
Good call.
Sees me.
Hey, I wasn't done!
I don't get it. Nobody sees me. It's like I'm not even here. What's going on? Where'd I go? Oh, no.
Doing your homework? I have them right here, Miss Smith. I expect you to. Yes, miss.
I didn't.
You are so...
I wouldn't. Hey, Lucas, it's me. Who's me? Who said that? It's Marshall. What?
I'm invisible.
Yeah, right. There's no way. Where's the...
Do you see me? Mm-mm. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm. When? Why, how?
1 minute I was freaking out. The next minute I was gone. Pretty sweet, huh?
Sure, things seem sweet at first, but at Black Hole High, things go bad. And I think you being gone is bad enough.
No, it's great. I mean, I'm still here. You just can't see me.
Marshall, this is huge. We have to go tell Professor Z. I can't wait to see the look in his face.
Well, I mean, he found it cool until this happens.
I want to be back. I just have one question. How do I do that? It's not like it's in this textbook. In my hand. It goes right through the book. I can't touch anything anymore. I'm trying to touch Corinne's shoulder. Can you feel it?
No. See, I knew this would go bad.
What do? I don't want to disappear completely.
Professor Z? He's fading away.
All right, let's think fast. Okay, Marshall has lost his ability to reflect light, and now his molecular structure is breaking down.
Holy shit, did he just vanish? I guess invisibility isn't the best superpower? Storm. Okay, so this episode is Vaughn's first encounter with the wormhole, and he's struggling with the fact that his father wants him to spy on the science club and his newly found friends because they know about the wormhole in the school, and Paradigm, his father's company.
Information? No, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Vaughn, I need you to use the surveillance device at school.
Dad, I don't want to spy on my friends. Why don't you just ask them what they know?
I wish it were that simple. But if word got out, I don't know what the consequences could be. I know you won't let me down, son.
Vaughn? Are you okay?
Yeah. Why?
Because it's raining.
So?
Well, it's only raining on you.
Listen, remember when I joined the science club? How weird everybody thought it was? You were right. The truth is, my dad sent me there to keep an eye on you. He even asked me to bug our conversations. And I did.
You what?
Listen, my dad thinks you guys might have some information about the strange things that happen at school that will help his research. Now, I should have said no, but he's my dad. And you guys are my friends. I didn't know what to do. That's why I have to quit.
Everything's fine, just a slight draft. Somebody must have left the window open. There's nothing wrong. Like Holesy high.
This is actually the first episode where we learn about Vaughn's burden and how he maintains two relationships, one with his father and one with his friends. Lost. This episode really isn't important, it's just creepy. Josie and Vaughn get lost in the forest looking for Paradigm Labs, and shit hits the fan.
It's my compass. It's not working. The needle's jumping all over the place. Look. Where'd she go? Where'd you go?
What are you talking about? I'm right here.
No, not now. Before. You were here, then you were gone, and now you're here again. Tell her, Luke.
I bet Paradigm's just over there.
Great. If we start now, we could probably build a bridge by summer.
Funny. We climb down, we walk across, we climb up.
You know, I don't know who's crazier. You for wanting to go on, or me for going with you.
Tough call. Look, we'll just take it slow. One step at a time.
Josie. Look, Josie.
What's going on?
Something's pulling me over. It's getting stronger. Josie.
It's your backpack. Take off your backpack. The magnetic field is too strong.
Help! It's pulling me over. No!
Season 2. Okay, so this season was pretty straightforward. The science club needs to figure out why Victor Pearson wants to hide the wormhole and how the wormhole affects the school. The major happenings of this season revolved around Josie and Vaughn and the discovery of the Qigong ball that has infinite energy and infinite motion. This is the coolest season because some of the best experiments and events happened. And we're gonna start off with Genome. So this episode was pretty dope because the wormhole made one of the characters glow up immediately. Lucas, one of the main 5 characters of the show, gets his genetics changed by the wormhole, and well, this happens.
Did Lucas spike his hair? We're going straight to the top. Anybody want to race?
straight to the top. You get vertigo wearing high tops.
Not today. The Lukester's got it going on. See you up there, Pete.
The Lukester.
When did he start talking like that?
I guess about the same time he conquered a sphere of heights.
Nutrition. Before I rewatched this entire series, the only episode I truly remembered was this one. In this episode, the principal of Blake Holsey High installs a bunch of fitness bar vending machines all across the school, and they got affected by the wormhole. Vaughn in this episode becomes addicted to these fitness bars, and he associates the bars with his impressive wins in wrestling, when in reality, he was just practicing more than he was before, and the bars were just a placebo.
Vaughn!
I've won my last 5 matches. My dad's totally impressed.
Vaughn, Lucas is in big trouble. He just totally blew his midterm.
And you were wrong, Josie. I'm winning because I lost weight. With these.
Oh, the Miracle Snack Bar.
If I win today, I'm a lock for regionals. What do I mean if? When? Come and watch.
You've got to stop eating those bars.
Fine, miss a match of the season, but don't say I didn't warn you.
It didn't help that he was motivated to abuse the bars because his father was disappointed in his performance when it comes to athletics.
What just happened here? I don't know. What happened, son?
I'm fine, Coach.
Vaughn?
What are you doing here? I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just so sad.
How many of these have you had?
No. I need to eat them. They're helping me win.
No, they're not. I'm taking...
Don't touch them.
Chemistry. To be honest, I only like this episode because I'm a complete nerd when it comes to chemistry. Like, deadass, I have a periodic table of elements over my desk because I love the science that much. And before y'all type in the comments, yes, I know the elements 113 through 118 are named now, and I have an out-of-date table, so you don't have to tell me. I already know. Anyway, in this episode, Marshall gets turned into various elements by the wormhole, but shit gets serious when the science club realizes that he could become radioactive by the end of the school day if they didn't fix him.
Lucas, at the rate Marshall's going, he could end up here. Uranium.
You're right, Josie. And a Marshall Wheeler's weight of uranium?
Would give off enough radiation to kill everyone in the entire school.
Season 3. This season is the most serious and has the most stakes. The Science Club has figured out that Victor Pearson is attempting to experiment with the Qigong ball to see if he can create a time machine and manipulate the wormhole under Blake Holsey High. The Science Club also has to deal with the fact that Vaughn, Victor Pearson's son, has been feeding his father information about the Science Club to him for over a year after he joined. Vaughn even learned that his mother might have caused the accident that created the wormhole under the school. Oh, and I almost forgot that 3 of the 5 main characters almost died in a folding tesseract near the tail end of the season. It's kind of ironic that in Season 3, the most serious season, has some of the most ridiculous and emotional episodes in the entire show. Like, for example, episode 29, Allure. You know what, I don't really know how I feel about this episode, so I'll just be blunt. Marshall almost gets eaten by a Venus flytrap that turns into a girl.
We're backstage. Come on!
Marshall! Are you okay?
Yeah, I told you this season was serious. Some of the weirdest scenes in the entire show were in this episode.
Ugh. Doesn't she shower?
Did you guys see that? She kept flies in her dresser, and she leaves burn marks on people she wants to eat. And the way that they defeated her was even more weird.
You've got to be joking. Ha! You missed.
That should leave a bad taste in your mouth. Is your head still ringing?
No, but these hickey things kind of sting.
Good.
Well, I don't see her anywhere.
Me neither. Where'd she go?
Mystery solved.
Hemispheres. I actually really liked this episode because it showed Corinne in a different light. She wasn't solving a math problem or figuring out ways to precipitate her vaporized friends. This episode, she wanted to explore her other identities. She wanted to become more than
Math prodigy or a science whiz, but I don't. Not to myself, and hopefully not to you. Looking at myself from a fresh perspective showed me that.
Also, she kisses Marshall, so that was pretty dope. Probability. To keep it short, the science team almost dies because the wormhole made improbable events the most probable. So, yeah.
An old friend of yours on the phone?
I'm not sure that it's any of your business, Mr. Wheeler, but yes, it is. Why?
No reason.
So, Marvin.
Now what?
This isn't funny, Marshall.
Why did you write that one of us will die?
What?
It says right there. You wrote a member of the science club will die.
Okay, look, I'll admit I may have been a little careless about this stupid assignment, and I'm sorry that I gave you an off day. But I wrote that a member of the science club will diet. I did not write about anybody dying.
Did it ever occur to you to check your work?
No, Mom, it didn't. It's just a dumb typo.
Come on, Stu!
Josie, look out!
Whoa, Stu.
A regular wrecking machine today. Student nearly took my head off with the shot put a couple minutes ago. You guys okay?
Barely.
Season 4. This season only has 3 episodes, and all of them are meant to set up the final fight. The Science Club has to stop the wormhole from destroying the world. Now, some crazy shit has gone down since Season 3. Josie's been sent to a different dimension, and Vaughn's father has gone insane because he lost the Qigong ball that powered his time machine. Now we come to learn that Josie, after Season 3, was sent to a different dimension because her dumbass stole the Qigong ball thinking that Victor Pearson was going to harm her friends, when in reality all Victor wanted to do was create a time machine to save his wife from dying in a freak accident that caused all of this mess. Oh, and it gets worse from here. Since the Qigong ball was stolen, Victor has spent all his time and money trying to create a new one. He even stole from his own son to achieve this goal.
This is all my dad's fault.
Maybe you can go back to your dad. He could appeal to the board or buy the school, pay for the repairs, something.
My dad's broke, Corinne. He's spent every penny he has, driven Paradigm into bankruptcy. And those papers he was having me sign, they were so he could draw funds from my mother's half of the estate. My trust is the only thing that was safe because he couldn't get his hands on it. Corinne, my dad's lost everything, including his mind.
Josie would eventually find her way out of the dimension she was imprisoned in, and with the final episode, she goes into the wormhole and corrects all of her mistakes and saves the world from impending doom. Conclusions. Final episode. There really isn't any episode that was funny, cool, or interesting in this season, but there is one scene that stuck out to me, and I think you guys will like it. This scene is a moment between Professor Z and Josie. They're talking about family and how to deal with an absent parent. This all came about because Josie met her father, someone who she's never seen before, in the past, while correcting all of her mistakes.
I'm not here right now, so please leave a message.
Hi, Mom. It's me. I really need to talk to you. It's about my dad. Just call me back, please.
Jesse.
Thanks.
Josie, is there any chance that Avenir may not be telling you the truth?
He said something about us having played this scene before. And when he did, I got this feeling. I don't know how, but I know he's telling the truth.
That's what your instincts are telling you.
Yeah, the same ones that are telling me I'm the one that's supposed to stop him. How can I face him again? I don't think I can do this.
I understand how you feel.
You can possibly understand how this feels.
I never told you about my father. Like you, I never knew him. And also like you, growing up, I was raised by my mother. When I got to be about your age, I decided that I would like to meet him. And so my mother told me where I might find him. And I did. I went and found him.
And what happened?
Well, physically, I could see myself in him. But when we got to talking, well, he wasn't the man that I had hoped he would be. And as desperately as I wanted to find him, he didn't want to be found.
I'm sorry.
Well, I went back to my mother, and I will never forget what she told me. She said, we have no control. We have no control over who our parents are. And even though we are a reflection of them, we have the power to change that image into whatever we want it to be. The only thing that decides our destiny is our own actions. Nothing else.
I'm really scared.
Well, I think that's normal. It's ironic that we have to go through the worst of times to bring out the best in ourselves. But if we didn't have fear, we wouldn't need courage. And if there's one thing I know, Josie, you are the most courageous person I have ever met in my entire life.
Well, there you go. That's the entire show, and I can see why it stuck out in my mind as a weird childhood memory. Strange Days at Blake Holsey High was so off the wall, I can understand why it would have a home on Discovery Kids. But it isn't all peachy. Since it was such an obscure show, it was excruciatingly difficult to find it in its entirety. It took me going on every website imaginable to find one complete download. It would be an understatement to say that I needed an antivirus on my PC. I had to put on a whole internet condom just because these websites were extremely sketchy. But I found it, and I think it was pretty worth it. There is no better feeling than reliving your childhood. It's even cooler to learn what the actors are doing now after the show being over for more than a decade. But unfortunately for most of the actors, Strange Days at Blake Holsey High was their biggest project. Probably the coolest role one of the main characters played after the show ended was Cubby from Jet Jackson. He was played by Jeff Douglas, aka Professor Z. So overall, the show's pretty good, and I'm sure you guys would like it too. So here's the deal. In the description of this video, there's a link to the torrent that has all the episodes on it. It's funny, even though I know the show's been over for much of my life, I was kind of upset that there wasn't a spin-off or a continuation of the show. I know, right? It's silly, but I enjoyed it that much. To be honest, I don't even know if I liked it because of nostalgia or because of its brilliance of combining a compelling narrative with dope science. And you know what? I think it's a bit of both, and probably why I think it's one of the weirdest shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Wow, that took forever to make! Wow! Yikes. But I had so much fun doing it. I had so much fun watching the show again, writing this script, editing this video, and posting it today. I will never regret it. It's so much fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, let me know in the comments down below, and leave a like if you liked the video. And also, let's make this show not obscure anymore. Share this video, man. Share it with people who don't know much about Discovery Kids, who don't know much about this awesome show from the early 2000s. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, via SMS, or something. Just make sure people know that this video exists, man. I want everyone to watch this show because it's so good. It's just, it's one of those hidden gems, a diamond in the rough, and you have to watch it. So yeah, use that download link. Watch this show all the way through. Just spend an entire weekend. It's spring break. Spend the week watching this and you're gonna totally love it. It's great stuff. Also, I get to release today the new Ailurus shop. Yes, I finally have a shop for merch. If you want merch, if you want some sick stuff, go to my Teespring. The link is in the description. You probably already see the stuff below my video. It's so dope. I've spent a lot of time making sure that this stuff was good, and if you want it, buy it. If you don't. But yeah, it's there. So if you want some sweet Ailurus gear, go ahead and pick it up there. Also, I'll be posting daily this week for spring break, so look forward to that. And as always, we got to thank the Patreon supporters. That is Pro Cookie, Maria, Simon Possum, The Caustic, and Haley. Thank you so much for supporting me. You make what I do happen, and that's exactly what I survived on this month, so I could work on this. I didn't post a single video. I made sure that I poured all my time and energy into this. And as always, stay zesty.